There is a wind moving through tonight. You may not hear it where you are, not with your waking ears, but it is there. A slow, ancient wind, the kind that has been traveling since before cities had names, since before roads existed, since before anyone thought to write anything down. And somehow tonight it found you. I am glad it did, because I have been waiting to walk beside you through something beautiful, not a lecture, not a lesson, just a story, a real one that was told in firelight long before you were born and will be told again long after, and tonight it belongs entirely to you. Tonight's story was made for you. But first, before we go anywhere, I want you to take a breath with me, just one, a slow one, in through your nose and out. Let it go. Let whatever you were holding onto today just release. You do not need to carry any of it right now. Notice your jaw. Is it tight? Let it soften. You do not need to hold your face together. No one is watching. Let your jaw fall just slightly open. Feel the space between your teeth. Now your shoulders. Wherever they are, let them drop an inch, maybe two. There you go. That tension has been sitting there all day, maybe all week. You do not need it tonight. Your hands, uncurl your fingers if they are still curled. Let your palms face upward or rest however they feel natural, heavy, warm, still. The day is done. Every message, every obligation, every thought that was chasing you, they are outside the door now. You closed it when you lay down. You may not have noticed, but you did. And on the other side of that door, the world is very, very quiet. You are here now, just here, breathing, warm, safe. I want you to imagine just gently, without forcing anything, that the air around you has changed slightly, that it carries something, a faint scent, like warm stone that has been sitting in sunlight all afternoon, like dried herbs, like something golden. That is where we are going. We are going to ancient Greece, to a time when gods were not distant ideas, but living presences who moved through the world and left music in their wake. We are going to follow a thread of golden sound all the way back to where it began, to the moment Apollo first touched the strings of a lyre and changed everything. But there is no rush. We will get there slowly, the way the best stories always travel, like a river, not a road. Let the story carry you. Close your eyes if they are not already closed. Let your body sink a little deeper into wherever you are resting, and come with me. The wind is still moving. Can you feel it just at the edge of your awareness? Ancient, warm, going somewhere. Let us follow it together. The wind carries us south and east and backward through time, all at once. And then it stops. You are standing, or perhaps floating, the way you do in dreams, on the slope of a hill. A Greek hill, limestone pale beneath your feet, scattered with wild thyme and dry yellow grass that whispers every time the air moves. Listen to it, that whispering. The grass bending and recovering like it is breathing. Below you, a valley opens wide and golden. The sun is lower here, late afternoon light, the kind that makes everything look like it is on the edge of something important. Olive trees line the valley floor in long silver rows, their leaves catching the light and flickering, 1,000 tiny silver coins turning in the breeze. You can hear them. That is the thing that surprises you first. The olive leaves. They make a sound like soft applause, like approval, like the world is quietly pleased that you are here. Somewhere below, water moves over stone. A stream, not loud, not urgent, just threading through the valley floor with a low, continuous murmur. It sounds the way sleep feels. Continuous, unhurried, already halfway to somewhere peaceful. The air here has weight, not heaviness, warmth. It presses against your skin like a gentle hand. You can smell the time being crushed where the wind moves across the hillside, sharp and clean and old. Mixed beneath it, something softer, the particular sweetness of warm stone that has been soaking up sunlight since early morning. You breathe it in. Somewhere not close, but not far, you hear music. It arrives before you understand what it is. A tone, single, clear, so pure it almost does not sound like it came from an instrument. It sounds more like the air decided just for a moment to vibrate on purpose. Then another tone, a third. They are not playing a melody yet. They are testing, feeling, the way a voice hums before it knows it is singing. These sounds come from further up the hillside, where a cluster of cypress trees stands dark and still against the pale sky. You begin to walk toward them. Your feet are bare and the stone is warm beneath you. The grass whispers as you pass through it. The stream below keeps murmuring. The olive leaves keep their soft applause. With every step, the music grows slightly clearer. It is a stringed instrument, that much you understand now. But the strings carry a quality that no instrument you know quite captures. Each note, when it sounds, seems to hang in the air a moment longer than physics should allow. It lingers, reverberates, not in walls, in the atmosphere itself, as though the sky is a second instrument, resonating in sympathy. You reach the cypress trees. Their shadow is cool and narrow. Beyond them, the hill levels out onto a small, flat clearing, stone underfoot, worn smooth by ages of feet and weather. And there, at the edge of the clearing, seated on a low outcropping of white rock, you are safe. There is nothing here that will harm you. The figure does not look up. Not yet. There is a lyre across their lap, small, tortoise-shell-backed, strung with 7 strings that catch the late light like threads of actual gold, and the fingers moving across it are long and unhurried, testing, returning, discovering something in the space between notes. The sound fills the clearing. And somehow, impossibly, it fills you too. Let me tell you how this began. Not today, not this afternoon on this warm limestone hill, but at the very start, before you arrived, before the lyre existed at all. Apollo was born on the island of Delos, an island that, the old stories say, was not always fixed to the sea floor. It floated. It drifted. It was a wandering island until the moment it was needed, until Zeus himself caused it to anchor in the Aegean so that Leto could give birth in peace. Think about that, an island that only became solid when it had a purpose. Apollo arrived into the world already luminous, already reaching towards something. He was born with 2 inheritances from his father Zeus, the power of light and the burden of truth. The sun was his to carry across the sky. Prophecy was his to speak from the oracle at Delphi. But music came to him differently. Music came to him through his brother. Hermes, quick, clever, laughing Hermes, was born just days before. And on the very morning of his birth, before the day was even warm, the infant god crawled out of his cradle, walked to the threshold of the cave where his mother Maia lived, and found a tortoise sitting in the morning light. He looked at it for a long time. The old stories do not say what he was thinking, only that he understood something immediately, the curved shell, the resonant hollow, and that he returned inside with it, and was quiet for a while, and came out again holding something that had never existed before. A lyre. He had strung it with the sinew of cattle he had, in that same morning, also stolen from Apollo's sacred herd, which is how stories often go. The most beautiful things sometimes begin in mischief. Apollo was furious when he discovered the theft. He stormed toward the cave on Cyllene, ready for confrontation. But Hermes, laughing, undeniable, impossible Hermes, simply began to play. And Apollo stopped. This is the moment the old poets loved to linger on. Not the anger, not the argument that followed, but that pause, the moment when a god of light and truth heard something that reached past all his fury and touched something deeper. Something that could not remain angry because what it was hearing was too beautiful to waste indignation on. The lyre sang, and Apollo listened. They made a trade, Apollo's sacred cattle for the lyre, a whole herd of divine animals for a small shell instrument with 7 strings. By any measure, an unfair trade, and Apollo took it willingly, because he understood the moment the instrument was in his hands that this was his. That music was the language he had always been looking for. He carried the lyre up the slopes of Mount Olympus. He played it in the hall of the gods. And the muses, those 9 daughters of memory who govern all creative arts, gathered without being summoned, drawn by the sound the way starlings follow warmth. It was said that when Apollo played, time did not stop. It simply became irrelevant. That is worth sitting with for a moment. Time became irrelevant. Not absent, just beside the point. The music was more present than time. And if you have ever heard a piece of music that pulled you completely out of the moment and into itself, you already understand what the ancient Greeks were trying to describe. Apollo became the god of music not by decree, but by devotion, by playing until the strings taught him things he had not planned to learn. Now come back to the clearing. Come back to the warm limestone, the cypress shadow, the figure seated at the edge of the outcropping with the lyre across his lap. You are close enough now to see the details you missed before. The tortoiseshell back of the instrument, amber and dark brown, smooth as old wood, curved and hollow and patient. The 7 strings, each one catching the late afternoon light differently. Some gold, some nearly white. One, the lowest string, almost copper in color, resonant and heavy even when untouched. The fingers move again. This time it is not testing. This time something has settled into the playing, a decision made between one breath and the next, and a melody begins. Slow at first, searching. A phrase of 4 notes that rises, then falls, then rises again, as though asking a question it already knows the answer to. You feel it in your chest before you understand what it is. Not emotion exactly, something quieter than emotion. A kind of opening, the way a room feels when someone finally opens a window after a long winter. Apollo, and yes, you understand now who this is, though you could not explain how you know, does not look up. He is not performing. This is something private you have been permitted to witness. His eyes are slightly downward. His lips are parted. He is listening to what he is making with the same attention he gives to making it. This is what devotion looks like from the outside. The melody unfolds. It moves the way water moves over uneven stone, not in a straight line, but finding its path, adapting, discovering. There are moments where it pauses on a single note, holding it, letting it expand into the surrounding air the way light expands when a cloud moves away from the sun. The olive trees in the valley below seem to lean slightly in this direction. The stream below seems to lower its voice, making room. You sit down on the limestone. It is warm against the backs of your legs. The thyme around the base of the rock releases a small breath of fragrance as you settle. The air is softer here than it was on the hillside, gentler, as though the music has been slowly adjusting the atmosphere without asking anyone's permission. You are safe. There is nowhere else to be. Let that settle into you. Right now, in this moment, whether you are on a Greek hillside listening to a god play, or lying in your bed with your eyes closed and your breathing slow, there is nowhere else you are supposed to be. Nothing else you are supposed to do. No version of tonight that requires anything from you. Just this. The melody shifts. It deepens. Apollo's right hand begins to move across the strings with more intention now, drawing out fuller chords beneath the single-note phrases his left hand is still tracing. The sound becomes layered, foreground and background, high and low, simple and complex all at once. It is the sound of something that knows exactly what it is. There is a story inside this music. You can feel it the way you feel the shape of a room in the dark, not by seeing but by moving through it. The music is describing something, a journey perhaps, or a return. The distance between where something started and where it arrived, the difference between those two places. A bird lands in the cypress tree above you. Small, brown, ordinary, it tilts its head toward the music and does not move for a long time. Apollo plays on. The light is changing. The sun is lower now, and the valley below has shifted from gold to something softer, pale amber, almost cream. The olive trees are losing their silver flicker as the direct light leaves them. The shadows have grown long and quiet. And then the melody begins to slow. Not because it is ending, not yet, but because it is choosing, deliberately, to take more time. Each note given more space, more air around it. The pauses between phrases becoming almost as important as the phrases themselves. You understand, without anyone telling you, that this is the point. That the space between the notes is not silence, it is part of the music. That what is not played is as intentional as what is. Your breathing has slowed to match it. You did not decide to do that. Your body did it on its own, the way bodies will when they feel safe enough to follow something outside themselves. Let the story carry you. The last phrase Apollo plays is simple, 3 notes. The same 3 notes from the beginning, but now they land differently because everything that came between them and now has changed the air they travel through. The same phrase, and yet not the same. A return that is also an arrival somewhere new. He lifts his hand from the strings. The sound does not stop immediately. It fades slowly, the way light fades or the way a dream lingers when you first wake and have not yet decided to let it go. The valley holds it for a moment, the cypress trees, the stone. Then it is gone. And what is left is a quality of silence that only exists after music, richer than ordinary silence, deeper, the silence of something that has been said and received and understood. Apollo looks up for the first time. He does not look at you. He looks out at the valley, at the fading light, the olive trees, the thin silver line of the stream below, and his expression is not triumph, not performance. It is something quieter. Satisfaction, the particular satisfaction of having done the thing you were made to do. You breathe. The time breathes. The bird in the cypress tree breathes. The valley, wide and golden and ancient, breathes. Stay here with me for just a moment. If your eyes are heavy, let them close. If they are already closed, let them stay that way. There is nothing you need to see right now. Everything that matters is happening on the inside. I want you to take one breath, just one, in slowly and out slowly. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your body remember that it knows how to do this without you managing it. Breathing, resting, being held by the surface beneath you. You do not need to hold on to the story. It will be here. It will wait for you the way the valley waits, with complete patience, with no urgency, with nothing but the soft sound of the stream and the distant trembling of olive leaves. If you drift for a moment, let yourself drift. Notice your legs, heavy, still, warm. Notice the back of your head where it rests. Notice your hands. Let them be exactly as heavy as they are. You are safe. There is nowhere else to be. The hill is still warm. The music is still in the air. Apollo is still there at the edge of the clearing, and the lyre is still in his hands, and the evening is still arriving softly over the valley. Come back when you are ready. Or do not come back at all. Just let the story carry you wherever you are going. The evening has arrived fully now. You did not notice it happen. That is how the best arrivals work. One moment the sky was pale amber at the edges, and now it is the deep, soft blue of late dusk, the color of something that has decided to rest. The first stars are appearing, not all at once. One, then another, then a third further east where the sky is darkest. They do not announce themselves. They simply become visible the way truths sometimes do, not new, just finally seeable. Apollo has not moved from his stone, but the lyre is resting now, flat across his knees, no longer being played. He is looking at the sky, at those first stars, and you understand without words that he is listening, the way musicians listen when the music has stopped, still feeling its shape in the air, still tracing its outline with the inner ear. The stream below keeps moving. It does not know the music has ended. It keeps its own rhythm, steady and low and continuous, threading through the valley floor like a sentence that does not need a period. Something has shifted in the air, a coolness arriving now from the east. Not cold, just the particular freshness that comes when the sun finally releases its hold on a day and allows the night to begin its gentler work. You feel it on your arms, on your face. It feels like permission. Permission to stop, to not finish anything, to let this moment be whole exactly as it is, without requiring a conclusion or a lesson or a reason. Apollo reaches out and rests one hand flat against the strings of the lyre, not playing, just contact, the way you might rest a hand on the shoulder of something you love. The strings, even muffled, hum faintly at his touch, a single, barely audible resonance, the lowest string, that copper-colored one, vibrating in sympathy with something too subtle to name. The valley receives it. The stars receive it. And slowly, softly, like a tide going out, the clearing begins to release its sharp edges. The limestone underfoot, still warm, becomes slightly less defined. The cypress trees, dark against the darkening sky, become shapes rather than trees. Beautiful shapes, still and patient shapes. The music is still here, not playing but present. The way the heat of a fire remains in a room long after the fire has been put out. The air holds it. The stone holds it. You hold it. You are safe. Let the story carry you. There is nowhere else to be. The stream murmurs on. The night breathes in. Let the hill go now. Let the valley go. The music stays. It travels with you. Your breath rising, falling. The strings still ringing somewhere far away, warm and gold and patient. You are held. Completely held. The stars are out now. All of them. Let your body go heavy. Let the last thought dissolve. The lyre plays on. Somewhere beneath the dreaming. Carrying you, all the way down.